This is Glenn Hutchins, Security Supervisor, Skyrest Inn and Suites, O'Hare International Vicinity. I'm recording this on my phone because I need to document what's happening. It's 11:47 p.m., November 18th, 2024. I've been a security guard for 6 years. 3 years here at Skyrest. Before that, mall security in Schaumburg. I'm not qualified for this. I need to say that up front. Whatever this becomes, whatever choices I make tonight, I want it on record. I was a night security supervisor making $18.50 an hour. That's it. That's all I was supposed to be. The call came through at 10:15 p.m. Front desk, Priya on shift, her voice higher than normal. Glenn, we need you in the third floor corridor. Guest collapsed. Bring the AED. I grabbed the automated external defibrillator from the security office. Red hard case, we test it monthly, I know the procedure, and took the stairs. Room 307. The door was propped open with the security latch. I could hear Priya talking, that soothing voice she uses with difficult guests, but strained. Sir, help is coming, just try to stay still. The man was on his back in the hallway, maybe 5 feet from his door. Business suit, expensive looking. 50s, graying at the temples, wedding ring on his left hand. His name was printed on the tag hanging from his partially open messenger bag. Dr. Anton Kaspers, Vector Dynamics Consulting. He was seizing. Not the full-body convulsions you see in movies. This was his hands clenching and unclenching, his jaw working, eyes rolled back showing whites. How long has he been like this? I knelt beside him, opening the AD case. My hands were steady. Training kicks in, you know. You don't think, you just do the steps. I found him 2 minutes ago, Priya said. I was doing the night check of the corridor smoke detectors. He was just lying here. The AD powered on, walking me through the steps in that calm computer voice. Bare the chest. Place pads. Analyzing rhythm. I pulled open his shirt, buttons popping, scattering on the carpet. That's when I saw the discoloration. His chest, his neck, spreading up toward his jaw, dark purple bruising, almost black, but with this weird crystalline quality to it, like the blood vessels were. Glenn. Priya's voice very small. His mouth. Blood. Not regular blood. Foam. Pink foam bubbling from his mouth and nose, but inside the foam, these dark flecks, almost like glitter. Like his blood was full of something that caught the fluorescent hallway light and reflected it back wrong. The AD said, and no shock advised. Continue CPR. I started compressions. 30 compressions, 2 breaths. His chest felt wrong under my palms, too rigid, like pressing on wood instead of flesh. The foam kept coming, more of it, pooling on the carpet. Some of it got on my hands. Warm. Slick. Priya was on her phone with 911. Yes, Skyrest Inn, 4400 Mannheim Road. 3rd floor. Male, 50s, unresponsive, possible cardiac event. She stopped. What? No, I don't know, hold on. She looked at me, phone still pressed to her ear, eyes wide. They're asking if he recently traveled internationally. They're asking specifically about that. I kept doing compressions. Check his passport. His bag. She dumped the messenger bag. Laptop, phone, charging cables, a folder of papers, and a passport. She opened it. Germany. He flew in from Frankfurt this afternoon. Landed at 4 p.m. There's a medical form paper clipped inside. Something about declaring symptoms. It's in German mostly, but there's English too. Respiratory distress, fever, unusual hematological presentation. He was sick. He flew here sick. The 911 operator must have heard, because Priya went pale listening to the phone. They're not sending an ambulance, she whispered. They're sending, they said, quarantine response team. They said don't let anyone leave the floor. Glenn, what the fuck is quarantine response? Dr. Kaspers stopped seizing. His chest stopped moving. I kept doing compressions for another 3 minutes. You're supposed to keep going until you're exhausted or help arrives. That's the training. But I knew. He was gone. I sat back on my heels. Blood foam on my hands. I wiped them on my pants without thinking. Priya was staring at the body, at the dark purple discoloration now covering his neck and crawling up toward his ears like some kind of infection spreading through his vascular system visible through the skin. I need to call my wife, I said. Not because it was protocol, because Denise was in room 412. 4th floor. We'd had a huge fight this afternoon about her mother moving in with us, and she'd checked into the hotel, my employee discount, to get some space to think. We do this sometimes. Stupid, right? Check into a hotel to fight in separate rooms instead of different rooms in our own house. But Denise was here, in this building, with whatever the hell Dr. Anton Kaspers brought from Frankfurt. I called her, straight to voicemail. She silences her phone when she's angry at me. Priya's phone rang, the front desk line. She answered, listened, and her face went gray. Glenn, there are 2 more. Recording continues. It's 11:52 p.m. I'm still on 3rd floor. 2 more collapsed. Room 319, married couple, the Vanderhoffs, checked in this afternoon from Amsterdam. Room 324, solo traveler named Yuki Tanaka, arrived from Tokyo yesterday. Both showing the same symptoms. The same purple-black discoloration. The same foam. The hotel has 180 rooms. Current occupancy, 167 rooms filled. Tuesday night, pre-Thanksgiving travel week. Families heading to relatives. Business travelers trying to beat the holiday rush. International arrivals catching connecting flights. We've got guests from, I'm pulling the registry on Priya's computer now, Germany, Netherlands, Japan, UK, Brazil, Australia, China, Canada, Mexico, and about 30 US states. A small United Nations locked in a mid-priced hotel off Mannheim Road. The quarantine response team arrived at 12:20 a.m. Not ambulances. White vans. Guys in hazmat suits, full respirators, the works. They came through the lobby and Priya buzzed them up to 3rd floor. The lead guy, his name tag said Morrison, CDC Regional Response, had this clipboard with about 40 pages on it. He looked at Dr. Kaspers' body, at the Vanderhoffs who were now also dead, at Yuki Tanaka who was still breathing but unconscious, and he checked boxes on his forms with this detached efficiency that made my stomach hurt. Building is now under federal quarantine order, Morrison said, his voice muffled through the respirator. As of 12:23 a.m., November 19th. No persons enter or exit until biological contamination is assessed and cleared. That includes staff. You're all potentially exposed. How long? I asked. Depends on incubation period and transmission vector. He pulled out what looked like a tablet, started tapping. Initial assessment suggests bloodborne pathogen with respiratory transmission potential. If that's accurate, we're looking at 14 to 21 days mandatory isolation for all occupants. Priya made a sound. Not quite a scream. A kind of choked whimper. My wife is on the 4th floor, I said. Room 412. She needs to know. No one goes anywhere, Morrison interrupted. You stay on 3rd floor. We're establishing floor-by-floor isolation protocols. Each floor is a separate containment zone until we determine exposure spread. You've had direct contact with index case. You're high risk. 3rd floor is now hot zone. I wiped his blood on my pants. Morrison looked at my uniform trousers. The dark stains. He made another note. Yeah, you're definitely high risk. We'll need full medical screening, but that won't happen until the mobile lab arrives. 4 to 6 hours. Until then, you maintain position. Do not interact with other floors. Do not use elevators. They're being locked down anyway. Stairwells will be sealed from outside. Fire department is on standby, but will not respond to standard alarms. This building is now classified as biohazard containment. He turned to leave, his team already bagging the bodies with this brisk practiced efficiency that told me they'd done this before. How many times? Where? Wait, I said. What is this? What did he bring here? Morrison paused. Unofficial designation is HVS-47. Hemorrhagic vascular syndrome. Showed up in 3 German hospitals about 9 days ago. 17 cases. 12 fatalities. Thought it was contained to Frankfurt Medical District. Your Dr. Kaspers was patient 9. He left isolation at University Hospital Frankfurt 6 days ago, against medical advice, and flew commercial. We've been trying to track his movement since yesterday. He gestured at the body bag. Now we know where he ended up. Is there a treatment? We're working on it. The way he said it made it clear there wasn't. They left. I heard the stairwell door lock from outside. That heavy magnetic lock clicking into place. Then I heard it on the 2nd floor below us. Then the 4th floor above us. All the stairwell doors locking. The elevators chiming as they went to ground floor and stayed there. My phone rang. Denise. Glenn, what the fuck is happening? Someone just came on the intercom saying the hotel is under quarantine. Is this a joke? Are you messing with me because of the fight we had? It's real. We have sick people. Really sick. CDC is here. They locked down the building. Silence. Then, I'm on the 4th floor, Glenn. You're on third. We're not even on the same floor. They're keeping floors separated until they figure out exposure patterns. How long? I couldn't say it. The word stuck in my throat. 14 to 21 days. 3 weeks minimum. Locked in this building. With something that makes you foam blood and turns your cardiovascular system black. Glenn. How long? Could be a few weeks. She didn't scream. Denise doesn't scream. She gets very, very quiet when she's terrified. Are you okay? Are you infected? I don't know. I had direct contact with the index patient. I got his blood on me. Oh God, Glenn. I'm okay right now. I feel fine. But you need to stay in your room. Lock the door. Don't let anyone in. Use the sanitizer. Wash your hands constantly. Don't share food with anyone. And Denise, I had to say it. Had to make her understand. If I get sick, if I start showing symptoms, don't try to help me. Don't break quarantine to get to me. Promise me. Fuck you. She was crying. Fuck you for asking me to promise that. Promise me. The line went dead. I don't know if she hung up or if the call dropped. Cell service in here is garbage. I tried calling back. Straight to voicemail. I sent a text, I love you. Received, not read. Priya was sitting on the hallway floor, back against the wall, knees pulled up to her chest. My girlfriend is supposed to pick me up at 7 a.m., she said. We're driving to Wisconsin to see my parents for Thanksgiving. She's going to think, she stopped. Started over. We've been together 3 years. She's going to think I just didn't show up. Didn't bother to call. Call her now. Explain. And tell her what? That I'm trapped in a plague hotel? That I might die here? She laughed, but it came out wrong. Broken. She'll think it's an excuse. She'll think I'm making it up because I'm scared to meet her parents again. I didn't have an answer for that. The hotel intercom crackled. Someone from the lobby, not Morrison, a woman's voice, probably another CDC person. Attention all guests. This facility is now under mandatory federal quarantine due to potential infectious disease exposure. You are required to remain in your current location. Do not attempt to leave the building. Do not congregate in hallways or common areas. Meals will be delivered to your rooms. Medical screening will be conducted floor by floor beginning at 0800 hours. Please remain calm and cooperate with all health officials. This situation is temporary. Temporary. That word doing so much lying. My phone lit up with texts. The staff group chat exploding. Housekeeping staff in the basement laundry. Kitchen workers prepping breakfast. The night manager, Tyler, in his office off the lobby. All of them trapped. All of them asking the same questions. What's happening? Is this real? When can we leave? I didn't know what to tell them. I'm security. I'm supposed to handle drunk guests and parking lot fender benders and the occasional shoplifted towel. Not this. Not a federal quarantine. Not a virus that makes you bleed from your mouth while your veins turn black. The hallway lights flickered. Some automatic energy-saving mode. Half the lights went dark. The remaining lights cast long shadows. The carpet where Dr. Kaspers died was still wet with blood foam. I could see my footprints tracked away from it. Contamination spread. Everywhere I walked, I took it with me. I'm staying in the stairwell alcove now. Away from the death scene. Away from the rooms where people are probably losing their minds, realizing they're trapped. My phone battery is at 64%. I have a charger in the security office on the ground floor. Might as well be on the moon. It's 1:47 a.m. I'm tired, but I'm not sleeping. Because every time I close my eyes, I see that foam bubbling from Dr. Kaspers' mouth. And I feel the weight of it on my hands. Still there, even after wiping them on my pants. Still there. Day 2 of quarantine. Time is 6:15 a.m. I'm still recording everything because documentation matters, right? If this goes bad, someone needs to know what happened. Who made what decisions? Why things fell apart the way they did. Medical screening started at 8 a.m. yesterday morning like they promised. A different CDC team, younger, less experienced looking. They came through 3rd floor with these handheld thermal scanners and blood oxygen readers, checking everyone. 47 people on 3rd floor. Guests and 3 housekeeping staff who got trapped up here when the lockdown hit. Everyone checked out fine. No fevers. No respiratory distress. No purple discoloration. They drew blood samples from me and Priya and the housekeepers. We had direct contact with index case, so we're priority monitoring. They said results would come back in 48 hours. Maybe. Depends on how backed up the lab is. How many other cases they're processing. I asked if anyone else in the building showed symptoms. The tech, her name tag said Williams, got real interested in her tablet. Several individuals across multiple floors are presenting concerning markers. She said in that careful way that means yes, but I'm not supposed to tell you how many. How many? I can't discuss specific case numbers. I'm head of security for this building. I need to know what we're dealing with. She looked at me, really looked at me, saw a guy in a rumpled security uniform with blood stains on the pants and 3 hours of sleep in the last 36 hours. 17 and counting, she said quietly. Across all floors, clusters in rooms 220 to 242nd floor, 505 to 515 fifth floor, and scattered cases everywhere else. Transmission vector appears to be airborne with sustained close contact, but we're also seeing patterns suggesting fomite transmission. Door handles, elevator buttons, shared surfaces. Elevator buttons, I repeated. The elevators we all used before lockdown. Yeah, so everyone in this building is potentially exposed. That's the working theory. She packed up her equipment. Stay in your room as much as possible. Minimize contact with others. Wear a mask if you have one. We're distributing surgical masks with meal deliveries. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Standard protocols. Standard protocols. For a virus that kills you in 6 hours and makes your blood crystallize. Denise called at 10 a.m. They tested everyone on 4th floor. No one is sick yet. But there's a family, room 409, right next to mine. They have a kid who won't stop coughing. Parents keep saying it's just allergies. The CDC people took them for additional observation. Haven't seen them since. Did you get a mask? They gave us 2 each with breakfast. Paper surgical masks. Glenn, these aren't going to do anything. You can breathe right through them. Better than nothing. Is it? She sounded exhausted. Hopeless. People are starting to panic. There's a guy down the hall. I don't know his name, but he's big, loud. He tried to force open the stairwell door with a fire extinguisher. Smashed the handle. Door still wouldn't open. Then he tried to break the window at the end of the hallway. It's reinforced glass. Didn't even crack. He just kept hitting it until security, some guy I don't know, not you, came and sedated him. Sedated him, Glenn. Where the fuck did they get sedatives? I didn't have an answer. The hotel doesn't stock sedatives. The CDC must have brought them. Brought them because they expected this. Expected people to break down. Expected to need chemical restraint. How are you? I asked. Really? How are you holding up? Long silence. I'm in a hotel room that costs $89 a night. There's a painting on the wall of the Chicago skyline. It's bolted to the wall so guests can't steal it. There's a coffee maker with 2 pods, regular and decaf. I drank both yesterday. The Bible in the nightstand drawer has a phone number on the inside cover for gambling addiction support. I keep staring at my suitcase. I packed for 2 nights. 2 fucking nights to cool off from a fight about your mother-in-law. I have 3 pairs of underwear, a phone charger, my laptop, and no way out. I'm sorry. For what? For the fight? For this virus? For being on the wrong floor when the lockdown hit? All of it. Everything. She started crying. Not the quiet crying. The big, gasping sobs that shake your whole body. I'm so scared, Glenn. I'm so scared, and I'm alone, and I can hear people coughing through the walls, and I don't know if that means they're sick or just nervous or crying too much or... You're going to be okay. You don't know that. You have blood on your pants from patient 0. You're probably already infected. And I'm mad at you about a stupid fight about where your mother should live, and that's going to be the last thing we ever talked about. Our last real conversation before I got locked in this room was you saying, well, maybe if you weren't so controlling about everything. And me saying, maybe if your mother wasn't a passive-aggressive nightmare. That's our ending, Glenn. That's our last memory. It's not ending. We're gonna get through this. Don't lie to me. Please. We're past that. Just tell me the truth. How many people are infected? I told her. 17 at last count. Probably more by now. She went quiet. Then, there are 167 occupied rooms. That's what the little placard in my room says. Maximum occupancy tonight. Please be considerate of noise levels. If 17 are infected, that's 10%. In 2 days. Glenn, how many people are in this building total? I did the math in my head. Occupancy is usually 2 people per room on average. Some singles, some families of 4. Maybe 300 guests. Plus 40 staff who got trapped here. Call it 340 people. In 3 days, that's 50 plus infected if the rate holds. In a week. Stop. Don't do that math. In a week, everyone is infected or dead. The line went dead again. I tried to call back. Network busy. I tried again. No signal. Cell towers must be overloaded. Everyone in the building trying to call out simultaneously. I walked the third-floor corridor. Just to move. Just to do something. Room doors were all closed. I could hear TVs through some of them. News channels probably. Covering this. The hotel quarantine. We're national news now. Skyrest in siege. I saw that headline on my phone before the network crashed. Someone had tried to pry open the stairwell door from this side too. Deep gouges in the metal frame. Bent the door handle. But it held. The doors are built for emergencies, but apparently not emergencies where people need to get out during a biohazard lockdown. The designers never imagined that scenario. Room 307. Dr. Kaspers's room. Door still propped open with the security latch. I looked inside. Suitcase on the bedstand, still unpacked. Toiletries in the bathroom. Electric toothbrush on the charger. He was going to brush his teeth. Going to sleep and catch his connecting flight to San Francisco in the morning. That was in his paperwork. He had a conference presentation scheduled. Emerging infectious disease patterns in European population centers. The irony would be funny if 34 people weren't dying from his conference topic. His phone was on the nightstand. Dead battery. I plugged it in. His charger was right there. The phone powered up. Locked, obviously, but notifications flooded the screen. Missed calls. Texts in German. Someone named ILSA called 47 times. Someone named Peter sent 15 texts, increasingly frantic. Where are you? Why aren't you answering? Anton, the hospital called. They said you left. Where did you go? Please answer. We need you in isolation. You're still contagious. Anton, please. He knew. Dr. Anton Kaspers knew he was infected and contagious, and he got on a plane anyway. Flew across the Atlantic. Walked through 2 international airports. Took a shuttle to this hotel. Touched door handles, elevator buttons. Checked in at the front desk where Priya smiled and handed him a key card. Spread contamination everywhere he went. Did he think he was fine? Did he think whatever was wrong with him had passed? Or did he just not care? Maybe he needed to get home. Maybe he had family in San Francisco. Maybe. The phone rang in my hand. I almost dropped it. ILSA calling. I answered. Anton? Oh, thank God, finally. This isn't Anton, I said. I'm security at the hotel where he was staying. In Chicago. How do you say it? He died yesterday. I'm sorry. Silence. Then a woman's voice, heavily accented English. He is dead? You are certain? Yes. I was there. I tried to help him. I'm sorry. More silence. I heard her breathing. Shaky. Trying not to cry. How many others? What? How many others are sick? In your hotel. He was infectious for the entire flight, yes? And the airport. And your hotel. How many? So far, 23 confirmed cases. The number had gone up. I'd gotten a text update from Tyler before the network crashed. It will be more. It will be everyone. She said something in German. I don't speak German. This is what we feared. Exponential spread in closed environment. Tell me, have they given you treatment protocol? There's no treatment. The CDC said. They lied. There is treatment. Experimental. We have used it in Frankfurt with some success. Antiviral cocktail for delivery must begin within 48 hours of exposure for maximum efficacy. After 48 hours, mortality rate is 95%. Before 48 hours, it drops to 30%. 30% is still. 30% live, Mr. Security Guard. Would you prefer 95% die? You need to demand this treatment. For everyone exposed. Immediately. Before the 48-hour window closes. I'll tell them. They already know. Of course they know. CDC has the Frankfurt data. We shared everything. They know about the treatment. If they have not offered it, there is a reason. Her voice went flat. Cold. Ask them why they are letting you die when treatment exists. Ask them what they are studying in your hotel while you bleed from your mouth. Ask them why 340 people are more valuable as research subjects than as patients. She hung up. I stood there holding Dr. Kaspers's phone. The implications sinking in like cold water. The CDC knows there's treatment. They have the data. They brought sedatives and hazmat suits and blood testing equipment. But no antivirals. No 4 cocktails. No treatment. We're not patients. We're the study group. Day 3. Time is 11:30 p.m. Everything is falling apart. The 23 infected are now 41. 4th floor is critical. Half the floor is symptomatic. Denise is still clear. She called me on the hotel room landline after cells went down permanently. I'm okay, she said, but her voice was wrong. Thick. She's been crying for hours. The woman in 409 died this morning. The one with the kid who was coughing. She got sick yesterday afternoon. Fever, then the coughing, then, Glenn, I heard her through the wall. The sound she made. And no one came. The CDC didn't come to take her away. She just died in there with her husband and kid listening. Where's the body? Still in there. They said they'll retrieve it during the next sweep. Next sweep, Glenn. Like she's garbage. Like she's... Denise stopped. I can hear the kid crying. He's 10 maybe. And his mom is dead 15 feet away, and they won't even take her body out of the room. I've been documenting all this because Morrison said to. Because official protocol is to maintain records. But now I understand. The documentation isn't for saving lives. It's for the post-mortem analysis. The paper they'll publish after we're all dead. Hemorrhagic vascular syndrome. Transmission and mortality patterns in closed population study. That's what this is. A study. A real-world lab with 340 test subjects locked inside. Priya figured it out too. She's been reading the CDC staff emails. They're using the hotel's business center printer for their reports, and someone forgot to clear the print queue. She showed me printout after printout. Communication transcripts between Morrison and Central Command. Probably CDC headquarters in Atlanta. One report. Recommend maintaining current isolation protocols despite mortality projections. Opportunity for comprehensive transmission data unprecedented. Treatment deployment would compromise study integrity. Study integrity. Another report. Subject population includes family units, solo travelers, and mixed-age demographics. Ideal for modeling spread patterns in various social structures. Request permission to extend observation period through complete infection cycle. Complete infection cycle. That's all of us infected. All of us dead or transformed. Priya was shaking when she showed me the papers. We need to tell people. Everyone needs to know. And then what? They riot? Try to break out. The doors are sealed. The windows won't break. All we can do is make everyone panic. We're already panicking, she said. At least let it be informed panic. I didn't stop her. She took the printouts and started sliding them under doors. Room 304, 305, 308, all down the line. People needed to know. Needed to understand why they were dying. That was 4 hours ago. Now everyone knows. And the hotel has transformed from panic to enraged. Someone on 2nd floor started a fire in the stairwell. Thought maybe the fire department would breach the quarantine to put it out. The fire department didn't come. The sprinkler system activated. The fire burned out on its own. Now 2nd floor stairwell is flooded and smells like burnt carpet and chemicals. Someone on 5th floor is smashing everything they can reach. I can hear it through the ceiling. Lamps, TV, bathroom fixtures. The rhythmic crash of destruction. Morrison sent one of his people up there with sedatives. Haven't heard from them since. My phone, Dr. Kaspers's phone, I've been using it since mine died, rang at 10 p.m. LSA again. Is the treatment coming? She asked. No. Then you must force them. Break quarantine. Call media. Make them accountable. The media already knows. We're on every news channel. Chicago hotel horror. Plague siege. Deadly quarantine. Doesn't matter. CDC has federal authority. No one can override the quarantine order. Then you are all dead. Yeah, I know. I am sorry. He was not thinking clearly. The fever affects cognition. He believed he was well enough to travel. By the time he understood he was still infectious, he was already in flight. He was not a bad man. Just a sick man who made a terrible choice. Doesn't change anything now. No, it does not. She paused. There is one more thing you should know. The treatment, the antiviral cocktail, we had enough for 12 doses. We sent it to CDC 3 days ago. Express International Courier. They have it. They have the treatment. They chose not to use it. The call ended. I don't know if she hung up or the connection dropped. Doesn't matter. They have the treatment. Enough for 12 people. They could save 12. But 12 out of 340 doesn't make for good data. You need a control group. You need the untreated majority to compare against. You need 328 deaths to understand the natural progression of the disease. I told Denise, over the landline, told her everything. The emails, the treatment, the choice CDC made. You should try to get it, she said. The antivirals. You had direct contact with patient 0. You're high risk. You should fight for one of those doses. There are 12 doses. 41 people are already symptomatic. In another day, it'll be 80. How do I choose who gets treatment? How do I decide who lives and who dies? Choose yourself. Choose me. Choose us, Glenn. I can't. Yes, you can. You have to. We have to survive this. And live knowing we let 328 people die so we could take their treatment. Live knowing we were part of the study group that CDC used as lab rats. I can't, Denise. I can't do that. She was quiet for a long time. Then what do? We document everything. We make sure when this is over, people know what happened here. What CDC did. We become witnesses instead of subjects. Witnesses die too, Glenn. I know. I'm sitting in the 3rd floor hallway now. The lights are still in energy-saving mode, half dark, long shadows. There are 73 people on this floor. 47 guests. 3 housekeeping staff. Me. 22 are showing symptoms. Stage 1, fever and respiratory distress. Stage 2, the purple-black discoloration spreading up from the chest. Stage 3, cognitive changes, personality shifts, the hemorrhaging begins. Room 312 is stage 3. I can hear them through the door. Not words, just sounds. Gurgling, wet breathing. The death rattle, that's what they call it. When your lungs fill with blood and you drown on dry land. My hands are shaking typing this. Not fear. Not yet. Just exhaustion. I haven't slept in 72 hours. The hotel coffee maker in the staff kitchen is still working. We have power, water, the basic utilities. But coffee only does so much. At some point, your body just gives out. Priya is in room 307, Dr. Kaspers's former room. She's been documenting everything on his laptop, writing a complete record of the quarantine. Names, times, symptoms, everything. Someone needs to tell this story, she said. Even if we don't make it, especially if we don't make it. I tried calling Denise again at 11:15 p.m. No answer. Tried her room landline. Busy. Tried again. No answer. I'm not supposed to leave 3rd floor. Protocol. But fuck protocol. Fuck CDC. Fuck Morrison and his clipboards and his study integrity. I'm going to 4th floor. Day 6. Time is 3:47 a.m. I'm still here. Still recording. I broke quarantine on day 3. Used the fire axe from the emergency case to force open the 3rd floor stairwell door. Took me 20 minutes. The magnetic lock was strong, but the door frame wasn't. I bent it enough to wedge the axe blade through and pry. Morrison's team tried to stop me. 2 guys in hazmat suits blocking the stairs. I had the axe. They had clipboards and authority. Authority loses to a fire axe and a guy who hasn't slept in 3 days and needs to check on his wife. 4th floor. I smashed that door too. The lock gave way easier. Maybe the frame was cheaper up here, or maybe I was getting better at destroying property with an axe. Either way, the door opened. The hallway was wrong. Quiet. Too quiet. No TVs. No crying. No sounds of people moving around or talking or panicking. Just silence and the hum of the HVAC system pushing air through the vents. Room 412. Denise's door. I knocked. Denise? It's me. Open up. Nothing. I used my master key card. Still worked, even though half the systems in the building were failing. The door clicked open. Denise was on the bed. Sitting up, back against the headboard, hands folded in her lap. She looked at me and smiled. That's what scared me most. The smile. It was wrong. Too peaceful. Too calm. You broke quarantine, she said. Her voice was thick. Wet sounding. Are you okay? I'm stage 2. She pulled down the collar of her shirt. The purple-black discoloration covered her chest, her neck, creeping up toward her jaw. The crystalline quality to it catching the lamplight. Started yesterday afternoon. Fever first, then the coughing. Then this. It doesn't hurt, Glenn. That's the weird part. It should hurt, right? My cardiovascular system is crystallizing and shutting down, and it doesn't hurt at all. Just feels cold, like drinking ice water and feeling it spread through your whole body. I sat on the edge of the bed. Took her hand. It was cold. Her skin felt waxy rigid. The antivirals. I'm getting you one of the antiviral doses. I don't care what I have to do. It's too late. Ilsa said 48 hours, remember? It's been 72 hours since I was exposed. Probably longer. We all breathed the same air, touched the same elevator buttons. I was infected before the lockdown even started. We all were. We don't know that. Yes, we do. She squeezed my hand. Or tried to. Her fingers barely moved. Don't waste the antivirals on me. Give them to people who still have a chance. The ones who just started showing symptoms. Save who you can. I came here to save you. You did. You're here. That's enough. She coughed. Pink foam on her lips. She wiped it away with the back of her hand, leaving a smear. I'm glad we didn't spend our last days fighting about your mother. That would have been stupid. This is better. This is, she coughed again. More foam. This is honest. I stayed with her. Held her hand while her breathing got worse. While the purple-black spread to her face, her ears. While the foam turned from pink to red to that dark glittering blood that Dr. Kaspers had choked on. She died at 4:15 a.m. on day 4. 96 hours after exposure. Her last words were, I love you, but they came out garbled because her lungs were full. I like to think she meant them. I like to think in those final seconds, she wasn't scared. I documented the time of death on my phone. Wrote it down in the Notes app. Denise Hutchins, 4:15 a.m. Day 4. Stage 3 complete. Respiratory failure. Then I went back to 3rd floor. Left her body in room 412 because there was nowhere else to put it. The CDC had stopped collecting bodies on day 3. Too many. They ran out of body bags. They ran out of refrigeration space in the mobile morgue units. The dead stay where they fall now. Morrison found me in the hallway, still in his hazmat suit, still carrying his clipboard. You broke containment protocol, he said. That's a federal offense. Arrest me. He made a note on his clipboard. You've been exposed to multiple infectious sources now. High probability transmission. We'll need to move you to isolation observation. Where's that? The parking lot? The dumpster? Where do you put the people who are definitely going to die? He didn't answer. Just made another note. The antivirals, I said. Ilsa told me you have them. 12 doses. I want them distributed to the people who still have a chance. Anyone showing symptoms in the last 24 hours. Give them the treatment. Treatment distribution decisions are above my clearance level. Then get someone who can make that decision. They've already decided. The antivirals are being reserved for essential personnel. Essential to who? To your study? Your data collection? Morrison's expression didn't change. Hard to read someone through a respirator and face shield anyway. But his body language said it all. Guilty. He knew. They all knew. Go back to your floor, Mr. Hutchins. Stay in your assigned area. We'll come for you when it's time for medical evaluation. I went back to 3rd floor. Not because he told me to. Because there was nowhere else to go. Denise was dead. The antivirals were locked away for essential personnel, meaning CDC staff. The rest of us could bleed out and die while they collected their data. Priya was waiting in the hallway. How is she? Dead. She closed her eyes. I'm sorry. How many are we down to on this floor? 38 alive. 22 symptomatic. 16 asymptomatic. But the asymptomatic ones won't stay that way. It's just a matter of time. She showed me her tablet. She'd been tracking everyone's status in a spreadsheet. Color-coded. Red for symptomatic. Yellow for exposed but clear. Gray for deceased. So much gray. Building-wide, we're at 197 alive out of 340 original occupants. 43% mortality in 6 days. What's the projection? If the pattern holds, total mortality by day 14. Everyone infected, everyone dead or dying. The only variables are, she stopped. Never mind. Say it. The only variables are whether CDC breaks quarantine before then, or whether they wait until the last person dies to collect their final data points. We sat in the hallway, back to back, her shoulders against mine. 2 people in a plague hotel waiting to die. The lights flickered. Power brownout maybe. Or the electrical system failing under the strain of running full capacity for 6 days straight without maintenance. My girlfriend stopped answering texts, Priya said quietly. I think she thinks I'm ghosting her. Or dead. Both maybe. I tried to call her on the landline yesterday. She answered, heard my voice, and hung up. Called back. No answer. She thinks I don't know what she thinks. That I abandoned her. That I chose this. You didn't choose this. Neither did you. Neither did anyone here. But we're here anyway, dying in a mid-priced airport hotel while the CDC watches through glass. My phone, still using Dr. Kaspers's phone, showed 12% battery. Might last another few hours. Maybe a day if I'm careful. The charger was in my locker in the security office. 2 floors down. Might as well be on Mars. I opened the Notes app. Started typing. My own documentation. Parallel to whatever Priya was recording on her spreadsheets and whatever Morrison was checking off on his clipboard. Someone needed to tell this from the inside. From the perspective of a guy making $18.50 an hour who watched his wife die in room 412 while the government held back treatment that might have saved her. Day 6 now. Current time 3:52 a.m. I'm still on 3rd floor. Still alive. No symptoms yet, but that doesn't mean anything. Dr. Kaspers's blood got on my hands day 1. That was 142 hours ago. Well past the 48-hour window for antiviral treatment. If I'm infected, I'm past the point of saving. Priya is coughing. Light, dry cough. She's trying to hide it, covering her mouth, turning away. But I hear it. Stage 1. Starting. How long have you been coughing? I asked. Since yesterday. It's nothing. Just dry air. The HVAC is blowing too hard. Priya. She turned to look at me. Her eyes were wet. Not crying. Just accepting. Since yesterday afternoon. I probably have 48 hours. Maybe less. The antivirals are for essential personnel. You said that yourself. I'm front desk. I check people in and smile and swipe credit cards. I'm not essential to anyone except my girlfriend, and she's not answering my calls. She coughed again. Harder. Covered her mouth. When she pulled her hand away, there was pink on her palm. Stage 1 progressing to stage 2. Faster than Denise. Faster than Dr. Kaspers. The virus is accelerating. Learning. Adapting. I don't want to die in this hallway, Glenn. Where do you want to die? Somewhere I chose. Not trapped in a quarantine. Not locked in by the government while they study my fucking blood work. She stood up. Wobbly. Feverish. I'm going to the roof. The roof access is locked. So is the stairwell. You have an axe. I helped her walk. Down the corridor to the emergency stairwell. The door I'd broken was still hanging open, frame bent, magnetic lock sparking intermittently. Up the stairs. Past 4th floor. I didn't look toward room 412. Couldn't. Past 5th floor, where someone was still destroying everything they could reach, each crash echoing down the stairwell. Past 6th floor. To the roof access. The door was locked. Heavy-duty industrial lock, not magnetic. I swung the axe. Missed. Swung again. The blade bit into the frame. 3rd swing, and the lock mechanism bent. 4th swing, and the door opened. Cold air. November in Chicago. Wind whipping across the flat commercial roof. HVAC units humming. Cell towers and satellite dishes. The distant orange glow of O'Hare on the horizon. Planes taking off. Landing. People traveling. Living. Going home for Thanksgiving. Existing in a world where hotels are just places you sleep, not tombs where you wait to die. Priya walked to the edge. Looked down at the parking lot 6 floors below. CDC has the whole perimeter blocked off. Saw it from my window earlier. White vans, checkpoints, guys in hazmat suits. They're not letting anyone near this place. Contamination control. Or witness control. She sat down on the edge, legs dangling over. Think anyone will remember us? After this is over, and they write their papers and file their reports. Think they'll include our names or just call us Subject 23 and Subject 147. Someone will remember. I sat next to her. Not too close to the edge. Heights make me dizzy. Always have. The families. The people who loved us. They'll remember. Will they know what happened? Or will CDC classify everything, seal the records, make this another government secret? She coughed. More pink foam. She didn't bother wiping it away. I want people to know. I want my girlfriend to know I didn't choose this. I want my parents to know I tried. She stopped. I want it to mean something. Not just data. Not just transmission vectors and mortality rates. I want my death to mean something. It will. You don't know that. I'm documenting everything. Every death. Every choice CDC made. Every antiviral they withheld. When this is over, I'm making sure people know. You're assuming you'll survive. Someone has to. She looked at me. Really looked. You don't have symptoms yet? No. Not fever? Not coughing? No discoloration? Nothing. She calculated in her head. That's 144 hours since exposure. 6 full days. Glenn, I think you're immune. That's not possible. Why not? Every virus has some population that's naturally immune. Genetic lottery. Maybe you're it. Maybe you're the one in 340 who can fight this off. She grabbed my arm. Her hand was burning hot. Fever climbing. That means you have to survive. You have to get out. Tell everyone what happened here. I'm not leaving you. You have to. If you're immune, you're too valuable to waste. CDC will realize eventually. They'll test you, study you, use your blood to develop treatment. You're not subject 147 anymore. You're the cure. I'm not leaving you on this roof. I'm not asking you to leave me. I'm asking you to survive. Big difference. She coughed harder. Blood now, not just pink foam. Stage 2 accelerating to stage 3. Promise me. Promise you'll survive this. Promise you'll tell everyone what CDC did to us. I promise. Good. She stood up, walked back from the edge. Help me downstairs. I don't want to die up here. Too cold. Too windy. I want to die in a bed. Somewhere warm. We made it back to 3rd floor. She chose room 307, Dr. Kaspers's room. Where it all started. Poetic, maybe. Or just the nearest available bed. She died at 6:30 a.m. on day 6. 48 hours from first symptoms to death. The virus is speeding up, getting more efficient, learning how to kill us faster. I documented the time. Pre-emeta, 6:30 a.m. Day 6. Stage 3 complete. Hemorrhagic respiratory failure. Then I walked the hallways. 3rd floor first. Counting the living. 21 left. Down from 38 just 2 days ago. Half the floor gone. The ones remaining were either asymptomatic, like me, or early stage 1. Still functional. Still able to walk, talk, pretend there was hope. 2nd floor. 15 alive. The fire in the stairwell had forced evacuation of several rooms. People huddling together in the rooms that weren't smoke damaged, making it easier for the virus to spread. Close contact. Shared air. 5th floor. 8 alive. The destruction had stopped. The person who'd been smashing everything was dead in room 512, surrounded by broken furniture and shattered glass. Their hands were bloody from cutting themselves on the debris. But the purple-black discoloration covered the cuts, covered their whole body. They'd died fighting, literally destroying everything around them in rage. I couldn't get to 4th floor. The stairwell door I'd smashed was blocked from the inside. Someone had piled furniture against it. Mattresses, desks, anything heavy, creating a barrier. Trying to keep the infection out, maybe. Or trying to keep themselves in. Quarantine within the quarantine. I shouted through the door. Is anyone alive in there? Silence. Then a voice. Male. Older. Don't come in. We're sick. All of us. Stage 3. We're just waiting now. How many of you? 12. We're the last ones. Everyone else is, he coughed. Wet, rattling cough. Go away. Don't breathe our air. I left them. Went back to 3rd floor. Morrison was there, waiting in the hallway, still in his hazmat suit, still holding his clipboard. But his body language was different. Tired. Defeated. We need to talk, he said. About what? About the antivirals you're hoarding? About the study you're conducting on dying people? About evacuation. We're pulling out. That stopped me. What? CDC is evacuating personnel. The building is no longer safe for researchers. Structural integrity compromised, electrical fires, water damage, biohazard contamination in 87% of rooms. We're leaving at 0800 hours. You should come with us. And the survivors? Will remain under quarantine until the infection runs its course. How many survivors are there, Morrison? He checked his tablet. Current count, 74 alive out of 340 original occupants. 78% mortality in 6 days. And you're leaving them here to die. We have no authority to break quarantine. Federal order stands until biological threat is neutralized. That means 0 active infections. Right now, we're at 68 active cases. Until those cases resolve. Resolve? You mean until they die? Yes. He looked at me. I couldn't see his face through the face shield, but I heard it in his voice. Shame. Guilt. You should come with us. You've shown no symptoms despite high exposure contact. You may be naturally immune. We can study your blood, develop treatment, save lives in the next outbreak. The next outbreak. You're already planning for this to happen again. HVS 47 is in 17 countries now. We contained Frankfurt too late. Kaspers wasn't the only one who traveled. We're looking at potential pandemic level spread. Your immunity could save millions by letting 74 people die here while you study them from a safe distance. Morrison didn't have an answer for that. I'm staying, I said. That's not advisable. I don't care about advisable. I'm staying with the people you're leaving behind. Someone needs to document the end. Someone needs to witness what you did. We're doing what's necessary to understand. You're letting people die when you have treatment that could save them. 12 doses. You could save 12 lives right now. But you won't because it compromises your data. That's not science. That's murder. Morrison was quiet for a long time. Then, the antivirals are in the mobile lab unit. Parking lot, northwest corner. White van, unit 7. The lock code is 4729. If you can get there before we evacuate, they're yours. Do what you want with them. Why are you telling me this? Because I have kids. Because I thought I was doing important work. Because, he stopped. Because I'm tired of watching people die for data. Maybe saving 12 is better than saving none. He turned to leave. Stopped. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. About your wife. About all of this. It shouldn't have happened this way. Then he was gone. Footsteps echoing down the stairwell. I looked at the time. 7:15 a.m. 45 minutes until CDC evacuation. The parking lot was 6 floors down and blocked by quarantine checkpoints. I went anyway. The stairwell was a maze of broken doors and flooded landings. Second floor still smelled like burnt carpet. Fourth floor was barricaded. I climbed over the furniture pile, mattresses, desk chairs, someone's entire luggage set. The hallway beyond was dark. Power out on this floor. Emergency lighting casting everything in red. Room 412. I opened the door. Denise was still on the bed, right where I'd left her. 2 days in a hotel room with no refrigeration. The smell was, I'm not going to describe it. Some things you can't communicate with words. I'm getting the antivirals, I told her. Told her body. The thing that used to be my wife. I'm going to save who I can. I'm going to make this mean something. I closed the door. Locked it from the outside. She deserved that much. Privacy. Even in death. Ground floor. The lobby was deserted. Front desk abandoned. Computer screen still on, showing the room registry. 340 names. Now just data points in CDC's study. The front doors were locked. Heavy chains and a padlock from the outside. I could see through the glass. The parking lot. White vans. Guys in hazmat suits packing up equipment. The mobile lab, Unit 7, was in the northwest corner. Exactly where Morrison said. I looked for another way out. Emergency exit. Loading dock. Anything. The kitchen. Service entrance. Also chained from outside, but the chain was looser. I could see daylight through the crack. I used the fire axe. Smashed the door handle. The chain held but the handle broke. I pried at the door with the axe blade. Bent it enough to squeeze through. Cold air. November morning. Sunlight. I'd been inside for 6 days. I'd forgotten what outside felt like. The parking lot was chaos. CDC personnel loading equipment into vans. Someone shouting orders. Engines running. They were pulling out. Actually leaving. I ran. Across the parking lot. Hazmat suit guys yelling at me. Sir, you can't be out here. Sir, you're in quarantine. I didn't stop. Unit 7. White van. Back doors. Keypad lock. For -7-2-9. The lock clicked open. Inside, medical equipment. Refrigeration units. And a metal case labeled antiviral protocol. HVS 47, 12 doses. I grabbed it. Turned around. 3 hazmat suits blocking my path. Put the case down, one of them said. Not Morrison. Someone else. That's CDC property. Federal offense to remove it from containment. You were never going to use it. You were going to let everyone die. Put the case down. I looked past them. More hazmat suits running toward us. Maybe a dozen. I couldn't fight them all. Couldn't outrun them in full protective gear. But I could throw the case. I turned and hurled it, hard as I could, over their heads, over the parking lot perimeter, into the street beyond the quarantine checkpoint. It hit the asphalt, didn't break, skidded to a stop 20 feet past the quarantine line. On the other side of the checkpoint, news crews, cameras, Reporters covering the Skyrest in siege. They saw the case, saw me throw it, saw the CDC personnel scrambling. One reporter, young guy, ambitious, probably freelance, ducked under the barrier tape, grabbed the case, ran back to the media zone before the CDC guys could stop him. "What's in here?" he shouted. "Cameras on him now. Live broadcast. What's in the case?" "Antivirals," I screamed, loud as I could. 12 doses. Treatment for HVS 47. They've had it the whole time and didn't use it. They let 266 people die when they could have saved them. The hazmat suits tackled me, pulled me down, but it was too late. The cameras had it all. My voice, the case, the accusation. The story was out. They dragged me back inside, back through the kitchen, back to the lobby. Morrison was there. No clipboard this time. Just tired. "You just ended my career," he said. "Good. The antivirals won't help anyone now. Too late. Everyone still alive is past the 48-hour window. Then they'll help the next outbreak. The one you said is coming. 17 countries. Pandemic level spread. At least now people will know treatment exists." He didn't argue. They locked me in the security office. My old office, where I used to sit and watch camera feeds of parking lot fender benders and drunk guests. Now a cell. I'm still here. Day 6. Time now is 11:47 a.m. CDC evacuated 3 hours ago. I watched them pull out through the window. All the white vans. All the personnel. Gone. The building is quiet now. No alarms. No sounds of people moving around. Just the hum of the HVAC and the occasional creak of the structure settling. My phone, Dr. Kaspers's phone, is at 3% battery. This will probably be the last entry. I don't know how many people are still alive. Don't know if I'm immune or just slow to show symptoms. Don't know if throwing that case to the reporters made any difference. But I know we were more than data. More than subjects in a study. We were people. Denise. Priya. Dr. Kaspers. The woman in 409 with the 10-year-old kid. All 340 of us. We had names. Lives. People who loved us. Someone needs to remember that. Someone needs to. Recording ends. Device power failure. The following was recovered from news archives and federal investigation records. CDC quarantine of Skyrest and ended on day 14. Final survivor count. 6 individuals out of 340 original occupants. Glenn Hutchins, security supervisor. Confirmed natural immunity to HVS 47. Survived. Testified at congressional hearings regarding CDC quarantine protocols. The 12 antiviral doses thrown to media were analyzed and fast-tracked for mass production. Treatment protocol now standard for HVS 47 infections worldwide. Estimated lives saved by early treatment deployment, 47,000 plus. CDC Deputy Director Morrison resigned. Federal investigation into observational study protocols during active outbreaks ongoing. Bodies recovered from Skyrest and were identified and returned to families. Hotel building condemned. Demolition scheduled. Denise Hutchins, Priya Mehta, Anton Kaspers, 337 others. Their names matter. Their deaths meant something. End report.